I finished work earlier than usual and decided to surprise my girlfriend. It had been a rough week, and I just wanted to spend some quiet time with her. As I pulled into the driveway, I noticed a car parked out front. It looked familiar, but I couldn't place it right away. I didn't think much of it. Maybe she had a friend over or something. I unlocked the door and walked in. The house was quiet, but I heard music playing upstairs. That's when something felt off. My chest got tight. You know that feeling when your gut tells you something's wrong? Yeah, that. I went up the stairs slowly. I didn't want to believe anything was happening, but deep down, I already knew. The door to the bedroom was half closed. I pushed it open. And there they were. My girlfriend. And my best friend since high school. In my bed. My heart just stopped. For a second, I couldn't move. I didn't know what to say. I just stood there, staring. They looked just as shocked as I was. Then everything exploded. I don't even remember what I said first. I think I just yelled something like, "Are you serious right now?" My best friend jumped out of bed, trying to grab his clothes and talk at the same time. My girlfriend just sat there, not saying a word, like she'd already given up trying to explain. My hands were shaking. I didn't know if I wanted to scream, cry, or hit something. I told him to get out. I didn't care where he went, just not here. Not after that. He tried to talk to me on the way out. Said it just happened, and he didn't mean for it to go this far. That somehow made it worse. After he left, I looked at her and asked, "How long?" She whispered, "A couple of months." No tears. No apology. Just like that. I walked out. I didn't take anything with me, not my keys, not my phone. I just needed air. I needed to breathe. I ended up sitting in my car for hours. Just thinking. I haven't spoken to either of them since that night. But now, months later, I got a message from my ex. Just one line. "Can we talk?" That message hit me like a punch in the chest. For a moment, I didn't know what to do. Should I reply? Should I ignore it? My mind was racing with questions. Why now? What does she want? Can I even trust her again? I stared at my phone for what felt like forever. Then, I typed back. "What do you want to talk about?" She replied almost immediately. "I owe you an explanation. And maybe, some kind of closure." Closure? After everything? Could there even be closure? Part of me wanted to hear her out. Another part just wanted to forget everything and move on. That night, I didn't sleep. My head was spinning with memories and pain. I kept thinking about what that conversation might be like, if it could fix anything, or just make it worse. And now, I'm stuck. Do I meet her and finally hear what she has to say? Or do I leave the past buried and try to move on alone? A few days later, we agreed to meet at a quiet coffee shop, not too public, but not too private either. I needed some space, but I also didn't want to be alone with all these thoughts. She arrived looking nervous, her eyes avoiding mine at first. I took a deep breath and said, "Okay. Tell me. Why?" She swallowed hard, then looked me in the eye. "It wasn't supposed to happen. I never wanted to hurt you. It just happened when you weren't around." I wanted to shout, to ask why she didn't tell me sooner, why she didn't fight for us. But I stayed quiet, letting her speak. She said she felt lonely, that I'd been distant, working so much. That's when my anger flared. "So instead of talking to me, you did this?" Tears welled up in her eyes. "I know I made a terrible mistake. I'm sorry. I really am." I sat there, my heart pounding. Part of me wanted to believe her, but another part couldn't stop the betrayal burning inside. Then she asked the hardest question. "Do you think we can ever be friends again?" I looked at her, feeling everything crash inside me, hurt, anger, confusion, and a tiny spark of something like hope. But could I really trust her again? Could I ever forget what happened? I shook my head slowly. "I don't know if we can be friends. Not yet. Maybe, maybe never." She nodded, tears slipping down her cheeks. "I understand. I just wanted to be honest. No more lies. We sat in silence for a while, the noise of the cafe fading around us. I realized this wasn't about fixing everything right now. It was about starting somewhere, even if that start was messy and painful. As I left the cafe, I didn't know what the future held. But one thing was clear, some wounds take time to heal, and sometimes, the hardest part is just deciding whether to try it all. After that day, I couldn't stop thinking about everything she said. For the first time in months, I felt something soft stirring inside me. Maybe it was forgiveness, or maybe just the hope of peace. But it wasn't that simple. Every time I tried to move forward, memories crashed back in, her voice, the look in his eyes when I caught them, the fight that followed. I started avoiding places we used to go, and even people who reminded me of them. My trust was broken in a way I didn't know how to fix. One night, I got a message from my best friend, the one who betrayed me. Just one line. "Can we talk? I owe you the truth." And suddenly, everything felt even more complicated. I wasn't sure if I was ready to face him again. After everything, I wanted to scream, yell, maybe even walk away for good. But that message, "I owe you the truth," it pulled me in. We agreed to meet at a park, somewhere neutral, away from prying eyes. When I saw him, I almost didn't recognize the guy standing there. He looked smaller somehow, like the weight of what he'd done was crushing him. He started talking before I could say anything. "I never meant to hurt you. I messed up badly. There's no excuse." I clenched my fists, trying to hold back years of anger. "Then why? Why betray me like that?" He looked down. I was jealous. I didn't know how to say it. I felt like I was losing you, to her, to everything else. His words hit me harder than I expected. It wasn't just about betrayal, it was about pain on both sides. But pain doesn't erase what happened. I took a deep breath, feeling a mix of anger and something softer, maybe understanding. "I appreciate you being honest. But you broke something between us. It's not just about saying sorry. Trust isn't easy to rebuild." He nodded slowly. "I get that. And I don't expect everything to be fixed overnight. I just want a chance to make things right, even if it's small." For the first time in a long time, I felt a flicker of hope. Maybe healing doesn't mean forgetting or pretending nothing happened. Maybe it's about taking small steps, even painful ones. I told him. I'm not ready to be best friends again. But maybe, in time, we can start with being civil. He smiled, grateful for even that. "Thank you. That means more than you know." Walking away, I realized this isn't the end of the story. It's just the start of something new, uncertain, difficult, but maybe worth trying. Walking away from that conversation, I realized healing is a long road, full of pain, but also hope. Sometimes, forgiveness isn't about forgetting what happened, but deciding if you're willing to try again. What would you do if the people you trusted most broke your heart? Could you forgive them, or would you walk away for good?